We're here to prove it's possible, not just for us, but for every woman brave enough to go for more. We believe success is sweeter when it's shared, and that your next level comes faster when you're surrounded by women who truly get it. This episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Girls Trip Business Mastermind Retreat, where big goals, belly laughs, and bold action all belong in the same room. Hi, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are talking about something that I think is like going under the radar, especially for women. I think men are more likely to jump into this, but with the baby boomers, the last of them are going into retirement officially. What has happened is we feel like AI is taking over and there's going to be no, if you're not some sort of like computer genius, you're not going to have a chance at
You don't have a tech
success.
company, you're going to be
Yeah.
left in the dust.
But there are a lot of businesses that no matter what, an AI computer will probably not come over and unclog your toilet or rewire the light in your bedroom so that you can have the light fixture that you want. So it's these boring businesses that the baby boomers started, had huge success, have client bases for that they don't have kids that necessarily want them. And they need to either sell them off or shut them down. And buying those businesses might be the secret to immediately having $1 million business.
Yeah. So I pulled up some stats and it's saying that in North America, 10,000 baby boomers retire a day. A day.
Crazy.
That is insane. And over $1 trillion in business. Like they own collectively over $1 trillion, baby boomers, $1 trillion in businesses.
Yeah.
That have to either fold up shop because the operator doesn't want to do it anymore, the owner doesn't want to do it anymore, or sell them off. So
I know.
this is the gold mine that nobody is talking about.
Absolutely. And having more than one boring business, I think that if you buy one business, it depends on the businesses, obviously, but I don't know if anybody like listens to Cody Sanchez, but she talks about this a lot. And basically, she owns things like laundromats in the right areas, obviously, but like where you guys go in the summer, where Ray is from in Ontario, it's a remote island. There is traffic from boats coming back and forth on the Great Lake to this beautiful little town that's sort of just a tourist spot. And so a lot of people are either camping or they're on a boat.
They're on a
when
yacht.
they get to a town, or they're on a yacht, and when they get to a town, they need to do their laundry. So although most people do not do their laundry at the laundromat anymore, we all have laundry for the most part, there are places where laundromats are still gold mines. And they are still an in-person business that AI will never take over and people still need, and they make great money and are such low. You don't have to staff, with a whole bunch of people. You don't have to have a special skill set to be able to do it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You literally just need to buy it and continue running it.
Yeah.
And having more than one of those simple businesses is where I think the secret is.
The real secret sauce. I know there's people listening that are going to be like, but listen, I'm not an electrician and I'm not a plumber. And I'm like,
exactly.
I would never buy that business because I have no experience in it. This is the thing. A lot of these businesses have operators. They have somebody who's been running it for the owner for years. You don't actually have to know how to unclog a toilet. You don't have to know how to install a new light fixture. You just need to become the owner of it, assume the debt, manage it, manage the employees, manage the cash flow. Like you just become the business expert of it and let the people do the work that were already in place.
Absolutely. Well, and like that's just it. The original baby boomer owner may have been a plumber or an electrician, but they maybe were not either. And I'll guarantee you, just because of the demographic of their age, they haven't been the hands-on service provider for many years. So they definitely, if they still own the business, they have the people in place to make it run. They have an office staff. They have, all of the service providers and the technicians and all the people that are required to make the business work. And obviously, you might lose some of those people because they might only want to work for that particular person or whatever it looks like. But that's why you hire people. That's part of being an entrepreneur, is looking for the right people in your business to make it run the way you want it to.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because I'm always on the hunt for tradespeople. I don't work in a business that
No,
necessarily requires that. Like, I'm not in the home renovation business, I'm not in the design business, I'm not in any businesses related to that, but just in my own home. Like, we live in an older home. It was built in the 80s and it's dated. And, like, we wanted to replace the toilet that was like ebony color, or like it's not a white, it's not like a clean white. And it's like, well, you do have to hire,
almond.
yeah,
It's usually
almond or
called almond.
bone. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's called bone actually.
Yeah, it might be.
Toilet. And it's like, yeah, it's a beigey brown toilet. It's hideous. It needs to go. And I need to hire a plumber for that. Like, we have a plumber that is like on a first name basis with us, not because we have clogged toilets or anything, but he's done so much work for us. He fixed our irrigation. He did an extra outdoor water line for us. He's replaced all the toilets for us.
Exactly.
We did a reno on the primary bathroom. Like,
It's
you'd be
forever and
shocked.
ongoing. Yeah,
You'd be
it's
shocked
forever
at
and
how
ongoing.
often you are required to call trades that you thought, oh, well, no, I would never need that. Like, I'm not really
Yeah,
interested
for
in that.
sure.
Actually, you probably will need them,
Well, and
and I
it's
know
funny
that,
to me.
yeah, go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead. Well, I was going to say it's funny to me because when we were looking for our house, we wanted to live in an older neighborhood and like older than yours. The neighborhood of our houses is like 1950s to 1970 builds. So they're even older. And a lot of the people that lived in the neighborhood that we wanted to live in, they were original owners.
Hmm.
So really, really old people owned the homes. And what ended up happening is you could tell that sometimes the person would pass away because they'd have an estate sale and the house would be for sale, kind of thing. Plus, it still had the green carpet and the pink balances and all the original stuff that they originally picked when they built it in 1970. And what's funny is by the end, after a year of looking, we were like, should we just start door knocking? Like, should we just see? And we're open as people to do that for our home, to be like, hey, are you thinking of selling your house? We're a nice couple that is wanting
Yeah.
to live in this neighborhood. We love your house and we think it might be a great fit for us. Like, let us know if you're interested. But nobody thinks to do that for a business.
Hmm.
If you know of somebody that looks like they might be at retirement age in your town or city, and you're thinking like, I wonder what they're doing next,
And
I
there, you know that you can take their business to the next level, or you would
yeah,
enjoy running that business. Totally. And you know how, as the business owner, you know how nice it would be if you're like, I'm retiring this year, no matter what. And someone just all of a sudden knocked on your door or cold called you and was like, hey, I'm interested in buying your business. What would you be willing to sell it for? What a like
mhm,
amazing opportunity for the seller and for the buyer. Like, I can't
exactly.
think of a more,
Well, to
if
tell a
someone knocked
story
on my
about
door
this
and
is
was like, I'd like to buy your business tomorrow, and they were willing to give me like a fair price, I'd be like, well, that came easily. Like, the universe
yeah,
really had my
fun.
back there.
For sure. Well, and like a story of this happening in our own world. Our mom owned the first Curves for Women in Calgary, and she is not doesn't didn't love being an entrepreneur and didn't love the hours of owning a gym, and quickly found that out that it wasn't necessarily her dream job.
Your
And
very low risk tolerance.
yes, and has a very low risk tolerance. So it like really required people to like come in, sign up, show up, not cancel their membership. Just a lot of paperwork and hours there, and you had to be open late into the evening and really early in the morning and follow all of the franchise rules. So it just had a lot going on. And one day a lady was like, I want to get into direct competition with my ex-husband. I want to buy this and I want to buy your whole territory. I want to grow, I want to expand. All things that mom did not want to do. None of the which did she
Mhm.
want to do. She did not have the vision for it. This lady absolutely did. And she said, this is the price I'll give you. And mom and dad thought it was very fair. and they sold it, and it was the best day ever because it fell into her lap. Had she been desperately looking for somebody to buy it, who knows how long it would have taken.
Yeah.
And would that person have ever found her? And how would she have put it out there that she wanted to sell it?
Yeah.
It's a lot harder. And obviously, when we're talking about this, I'm envisioning small businesses, like local, still run by the owner type businesses. If you think you're going to go into like RP's furnace company that's a multi-million dollar
Yeah.
huge nationwide, and you're gonna be like, hey, here's 90 grand, I'd like to take over, I know you're old, probably not gonna happen. You're gonna need to look for like the mom and pop businesses that are still run by their owners and a few staff.
I also think though that there is, like, if you are looking for big business and you have a bigger budget, there
Yeah.
are brokers that just deal in big
Mhm.
business. So like if your dream is to own a huge company and you have the
You're
risk
willing to
tolerance
get
for
them
it and
loan. Yeah.
you have the budget
Yep.
for it, there
Absolutely.
are people to get in touch with that will connect
Mhm.
the business with the potential buyer and do that. So like that's an option too. If you're like, yeah, you know what, I've done this small business and I've been successful at it and I want to get on to the next big thing, go for it. Also, if you have you're listening and you're like, oh, well, I already own a plumbing business, let's say. It's not, you don't have to be like, well, I've already done that. You also can just start purchasing your
Mhm.
competition, your
Exactly.
competitors, and start growing your business that way too. You don't have to get into a completely new business that you know nothing about. If you're already very comfortable in an industry and you already own a business, you can just start acquiring other businesses to become that big
Exactly.
giant that you want to be.
Absolutely. And like we're using plumbing as an example because it's the most obvious that, AI can't
Yeah.
come unclog the toilet. But it could be a hair salon, it could be a convenience store, it could be a laundromat, it could
New
be,
grocery
there's
store. Yeah.
many, many real life businesses that AI doesn't cut our hair yet. AI does, and maybe, and like you don't have to be a hairdresser, you can be just the person that owns the salon and rents chairs, or you choose your business model and you go from there. And
And I
obviously
think that,
do your own due diligence on what does the business make and all of that.
of course, and like, what's the debt and how is the debt serviced currently and what's the income like and,
Yes.
what are the salaries like? Like, you do have to do your due diligence. You can't just, throw caution to the wind and be like, well, they said to buy a business. So.
Yeah, don't do the easy math where you're like, oh, a haircut's 200. If we had 20 people a day, it'd be this much money and then I'd be rich. The thing
Well,
is, you do have to look at everything very deeply.
Well, and I also think that if you're new to business or your numbers are not your jam and you get kind of overwhelmed when you look at someone's financials, you gotta bring in somebody who is an expert with numbers or who
Yes.
has that experience, who can be like, well, the debt ratio is too high or the income's not high enough, salaries are way out of touch. If you don't know what you're looking at, then you need to hire that out. There's tons of people that will, like, accounting services, accounting businesses, individual accountants who will help guide you on whether it's a profitable business or not. And also, just like a word of caution, make sure you're looking back far enough. Don't just say, like, oh, well, in the last 12 months, they've done all this business, because what did the year before that look like? Was there some kind of extenuating circumstance where they had a really good year? Because I
Yes.
don't know. It was COVID and they're a mask company, and all of a sudden everybody in the whole wide world needed masks for a hot second there. But things are going to return back to normal, and then is it going to look like that in the future? And so you do have to look at all of the considerations and know what the risk is before you get involved in a business. But I'm telling you, these businesses are what are either we're going to have a real shortage of
Yes.
services,
Real life service providers.
real life services, because nobody's picking this up and no one's carrying on, or some people are going to start buying them up and are going to get very wealthy in the meantime.
Absolutely. All right. Have a great week. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks, and chat next time.